For game number 2 for the Lopes and game number 4 of the GCU kickoff tournament here on this Friday night in the heart of Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Kyle Borg alongside Cheyenne Rose. And if you're just joining us for this game, you have missed quite a bit as the Lopes were in a very, very entertaining battle against Weber State. Just about 30 minutes ago, that game ended, and we are underway here for game number 2. First pitch from Yessie Morrison is in there for a strike. And she will make her GCU debut here with that first pitch, which was a strike, and her ERA last season was a 2.56. She went 9-7, started 19 games, had 4 complete games, struck out 25, walked 15, and gave up 48 runs. And that one will be the first out on the second pitch of the game for Yessie Morrison. And the leadoff batter for Stanford is retired. Number 21, Kaitlyn Lamb will step in for her first at-bat. She will bat in the 2-hole for Stanford here in the top of the first inning. The Lopes back to being the designated home team after being the visiting team in the first game. First pitch to Lamb is going to be outside for a ball. Morrison, that one just a bit outside for ball number 2. So a 2-0 count to the freshman Lamb from Yessie Morrison. Yessie Morrison, the junior right-hander out of California. In the circle to start this one for GCU. Next pitch on the way, gonna try and bunt it is Lamb. Unable to do so successfully. And that one will be the first strike of the at-bat. So a 2-1 count coming. Pitch from Morrison. That one swung on and missed. 2-2 for Yessie Morrison. With one out already here, the Lopes dropped the game 3-0 in extras last night to the Stanford Cardinal. 3-0. All 3 runs came in that top of the 8th inning as Ryan Denhart was pitching a gem through 7 2/3. That one's going to be lined into the outfield, and the first hit of the game will be to Lamb on the single into right. So bouncing around the diamond for GCU, it is Yessie Morrison pitching behind the plate. Kaylee Dietrich at first. Lily Bishop playing second. Lorianne Olson in the hole at short. Savannah Torville and Taylor Olson will be at third. In the outfield from left to right, Reed will be out there for GCU along with Cavarubio and Brooke Cantillo out in right. First pitch to Young outside. Good snag by Dietrich, and the count goes to a 1-0. Pitch from Morrison. Outside corner, got it. Strike number 1, so a 1-1 count to Emily Young. Young was 0 for 4 last night with a pair of strikeouts in that 3-0 Stanford victory. Lim on first, 1-1 on the way, going to be fouled off the foot of Young, and Yessie Morrison will go ahead in the count, 1-2. Stanford played the second game of the day this afternoon against the University of New Mexico. Came away with an impressive comeback victory in the bottom of the 7th, winning that one 7-6, excuse me. And that one's going to be driven into center field. Cavarubio coming onto that one makes the grab for out number 2, and the Lopes 1 out away from going to bat in the bottom of the first. Lim still on first, and we'll take another look at that one. Good swing, but a better catch by Cavarubio. Getting ready to settle in now for Stanford is Christina Inoue. She'll be playing third base for Stanford.
And as you mentioned, Kyle, Stanford had that great great game against New Mexico earlier, coming back to win it in walk-off fashion. But the Cardinals have had a little bit longer rest than the Lopes have had, as that game ended at about 5 o'clock, giving them a half an hour before the first Lopes game, and now the Lopes playing their second game within 30 minutes.
Inoue last night went 0 for 3. Including one strikeout against Denhart. That one's going to be fouled off, so a 1-2 count coming for Inoue. So 2 outs here in the top half of the first inning. Yessie Morrison making her GCU debut, looking to get something rolling with a quick 4-batter inning. Hopefully no more than that for Yessie Morrison as she starts to settle in. That one's going to be swung on and missed. Strike number 3 in the first one of the season for Yessie Morrison, and the Lopes get out of the inning with just facing 4 batters, and they're going to come to bat in the bottom half of the first inning. Still no score between Stanford and GCU.
It's time for the upcoming schedule, brought to you by BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports equipment and apparel in the country. Tomorrow, women's basketball returns home to host California Baptist at 2 p.m., and the GCU kickoff tournament continues here, where GCU softball will face New Mexico again at 3:30, and will take on Weber State at 5:30 p.m. and catch every game live on GCU TV.
Catching for the Cardinal, Montana Dixon, and pitching, Tatum Boyd.
So before we get to the defense and the starting pitcher for Stanford, let's go ahead and take a look at our Sanderson Ford 3 keys to game number 2.
Yeah, Kyle, so the first key is the comeback. The Lopes look to take a comeback win, as we mentioned before. Their loss in extra innings to Stanford yesterday, and then the next key is pitching, and the Lopes have had some great pitching in the first 2 games with Denhart and Kuhn, and they hope to keep that momentum in the pitching game. And then the last key is eyes up, keep climbing. The Lopes have had 2 tough losses in this kickoff tournament, one from Stanford in extra innings, as we've mentioned, and then the Weber State walk-off that just happened 30 minutes ago. So the Lopes need to not focus on what has happened, but need to keep their eyes up and keep looking forward at this game here.
First pitch to Brooke Cantillo in there on the outside corner, strike number 1. So Tatum Boyd making her first collegiate appearance for Stanford, the right-handed freshman out of Plano, Texas, starts off with a strike against the Lopes leadoff hitter, Brooke Cantillo, who in the last game just went 3 for 4. That one's going to even out the count at 1-1. Pretty much the same starters for Stanford as the Lopes faced last night, with the exception of Lim, who's out in left. 1-1 pitch. Just hitting the outside corner, says the umpire. 1-2 is the count, and the rest of that outfield in center will be number 25, Taylor Jindelsberger, followed by number 23, Tegan Cowles. And now the 1-2 count. Just gonna be foul, missing, just hitting that third base right as that one went down the line. So the count will remain 1-2 for Brooke Cantillo. Good swing, hitting that one opposite way for Cantillo. One, 2 on the way. Cantillo, big swing. That one's going to get popped up and held up into center field. Jindelsberger over to make the grab, and out number 1 for Stanford.
Number 4, Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed comes to bat in the 2-hole, and a little bit of a shakeup for the Lopes batting order-wise. Pretty much all the same players from game 1 today. So Jaden Reed up right now, followed by Savannah Torville, Lily Bishop, Kaylee Holland, Taylor Olson, Lorianne Olson, Kaylee Dietrich, and Mickey Cavarubio. And the first pitch to Reed is going to be a ground ball to short. Huff throws on to Schultz at first, and that's a quick out number 2 for the Lopes.
Shortstop, number 26, Savannah Torville.
Torville coming up now. Had a very good first game earlier today. still looking for her first extra base hit. That one inside, gonna get it for strike number 1 on Savannah Torville. So the rest of the infield for Stanford, Montana Dixon behind the plate. Schultz will be at first, Huff at second, Young in the hole at short, and Inoue at third. And Torville looks to turn on that one, but it goes foul, and quickly the count goes to 0-2.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Kyle, Savannah Torville having a great first game for the Lopes, and Torville was actually named first team all-WAC for the 2019 season, along with Brianna Aguilar and Ryan Denhart, who were both named to the second team. So a lot of good things happening for the Lopes in preseason.
0-2 grounded right back to the pitcher. Boyd will put Torville away, and a quick 3-up, 3-down inning for the Lopes. So neither side with more than a hit and a strikeout for Yessie Morrison. And Boyd retires the Lopes in order as Morrison comes back out for inning number 2. We'll be right back with more softball right here on GCU TV.
As a teacher, your calling was always to make a difference and positively impact the future. You live with a deep sense of purpose and strive to inspire generations of change. GCU's online Masters of Education degree program gives you the skills you need to grow and develop your career. You're not just inspiring future generations of leaders, you're giving them the tools they need to succeed.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Cardinal in their second game of the weekend playing each other. Yessie Morrison able to get a strikeout to end inning number 1 after giving up that 1 base hit to Lamb, and the first pitch just gonna miss for a ball as Emily Schultz digs in. Well, 1-0 from Morrison. That one will be poked, but not quite over the head of Olsen there at third base. Taylor Olsen, excuse me, playing third base, making a good play for out number 1. That pitch from Morrison in there for strike number 1 to start off the next batter. 1 down here in the top of the second inning. So Tatum Boyd now up to bat for Stanford. That one just gonna miss. Counts even at 1 ball and 1 strike, so first plate appearance for Tatum Boyd here tonight. That one just gonna miss outside and at the top of the zone. So a 2-1 count to Boyd. Two-one. Inside corner called strike number 2, and the count goes even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 on the way from Morrison. Outside corner, just gonna miss. Count goes full, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, top second inning. As it's a pitcher-on-pitcher battle here as Tatum Boyd digs in for the 3-2 pitch from Yessie Morrison. 3-2 pitch just gonna miss, clipping that outside corner. So the first walk of the day for Yessie Morrison will put the pitcher Tatum Boyd aboard.
Number 12, Montana Dixon.
So the catcher now, number 12, Montana Dixon, will step in. Dixon last night 1 for 3 against the Lopes. So both sides wearing the white jerseys here tonight. The Lopes with the black trim and the white pants, and Stanford with the red pants on and the red lettering across the chest. So that first pitch to Dixon was a ball, and the count is 1-0. One 0 pitch. Inside, right at the knees, strike number 1. Count is even now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on first base. Lopes got to be careful of that runner. Of course, Stanford going to try and bring Boyd around to score. 1-1. Got it on the outside corner. Morrison goes ahead with the second strike of the at-bat. And now the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2, outside corner, just gonna miss. Count goes even. It was a good pitch from Yessie Morrison trying to hit that outside corner. Inside, almost hit her, throw down to first, not gonna be in time. Heads up play by Kaylee Dietrich behind the plate, trying to get Boyd getting back to first base. So the second straight batter that Yessie Morrison will have a full count to. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Three-two. Ripped right into the Lopes dugout, into the netting, foul ball. And the count stays 3 balls, 2 strikes. Montana Dixon, the senior right-hander from Lakewood, California. So last year, Stanford 33 and 20, 8 and 13 in the Pac-12, 6 and 6 on the road. Outside, second straight walk for Yessie Morrison, and that puts Dixon aboard. So 2 runners on now, first and second base with 1 away.
Now batting, second baseman number 1, Sydney Huff.
Sydney Huff, the second baseman, will come to the plate as Dietrich will call out something to the infield to get them ready. Force play on at third base now as the corners come in, and the middle infield will take a few steps back. That pitch going to be popped up. Olsen is there, and it'll be out number 2 as Olsen makes the grab. Taylor Olsen right there.
Now batting, center fielder number 25, Taylor.
Nice, easy little pop up. So 2 away now. Force at any base. Morrison delivers outside, ball 1. This is the center fielder, number 25, Taylor Jindelsberger. One 0 from Morrison. That one will be grounded at Olsen. She'll throw on to first, well in time to retire the side. So after a couple of walks, Morrison battles back. No runs, no hits, and a pair of walks, and Stanford strands 2. Will go to the bottom of the second. No score between Stanford and Grand Canyon.
And don't forget, Kyle, you can get your best gear to show off your Lopes pride. Go to lopeshop.gcu.edu to find everything GCU. From the newest apparel to the coolest accessories, use promo code GCUTV25 to get 25% off for being a GCU TV viewer. Let's paint the Valley purple, and as always, Lopes up.
Take another look at this play made by Taylor Olson, throwing a first good throw well in time to retire the side as Boyd gets ready to come out for her warm-up pitches as she was stuck out there on second base for Stanford. Pitcher and a utility player for this Cardinal team. Lily Bishop is going to be set to lead off for GCU here to start the second inning of play for the Lopes. Last night, Lily Bishop 1 for 2 in the ball game against this Stanford Cardinal team. As it looks like Tatum Boyd is ready to go, and we will get things going now with Lily Bishop. Bishop on at first base for GCU. Boyd gets set, she'll deliver. Bishop, big swing, foul ball into the dirt behind home plate, and that will make the count. No balls and 1 strike. Boyd digs in again, 0-1. Bishop, ground ball to third. Throw over onto Schultz at first from Inoue in time for out number 1. And Kaylee Holland now will step up to the plate.
Number 12, Kaylee Holland.
So Kaylee Holland caught last night. 1 for 3 in the ball game. Yesterday, when she was behind the plate, first pitch to Holland, off speed, gonna get her to swing and a miss and a strike. She is the designated player tonight. She's the designated player a game ago as well. Involved in that big collision at home plate. That led to one of the 3 Stanford runs in the 8th inning. Holland will pop one up to Schultz over at first. And that will give Stanford out number 2.
Now batting, third baseman number 8, Taylor Olson.
First pitch to Taylor Olson outside for a ball. Count goes 1-0.
As we mentioned, Kyle, that loss to Stanford yesterday in extra innings. The Lopes are 2-1 all-time against Stanford, and hoping to tie that all-time series against Stanford back at 2 with a win here tonight.
Absolutely, as a big swing right on that one was Taylor Olson, just unable to connect. So 1-1 from Boyd. That time she connects over to short. Throw on to Schultz at first in time. Another 1-2-3 inning for Boyd, and that will retire the side. So no runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on base for the Lopes. Still scoreless here as we go to the 3rd inning when we come back right here on GCU TV.
Bossy, bossy, just looking at my kids like I'm bossy. Is it?
Curiosity fuels you. So when you're ready for a fulfilling new career, let your curiosity fuel that change. Grand Canyon University's online degree programs in technology make it convenient for you to achieve your dream. GCU teaches you how to plan for innovation. By applying that knowledge to today's most challenging problems, you're helping to build a better tomorrow. Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education.
GCU softball stadium. Still no score here between Stanford and Grand Canyon in the final game on this beautiful Friday evening here in Phoenix, Arizona, as the GCU kickoff tournament day 2 will come to a close at the conclusion of this one. But right back at it, 10:30 a.m. tomorrow morning for Stanford and the University of New Mexico. They faced each other earlier today, like we talked about earlier, in a really good matchup between those two, which saw Stanford walking it off in the bottom of the 7th inning. So Yessie Morrison getting ready for inning number 3 of work in the top half of the 3rd. First pitch just gonna miss. Ball number 1 to Tegan Cowles. So 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0. High chopper into the hole at short. Torville can't quite come up with it as she will take a fall. She was able to range over and make the grab, but couldn't quite get it out of her glove and set her feet in time. So Cowles is aboard with a single, and there are no outs.
Kaitlyn Lamb.
Kaitlyn Lamb coming back up to the plate. She singled in her first plate appearance. So she is 1 for 1 today. First pitch to Lamb. Outside corner, called strike number 1. Yessie Morrison doing a good job hitting the corners early on here in this game against Stanford. So 1 on, nobody gone for the Cardinal. First pitch, or second pitch, way outside. And that'll even the count up at 1 apiece. So Morrison looking in, getting the call from Kaylee Dietrich as she looks over to the dugout to get the call. Relays it to Morrison. 1-1, squares to bunt Limb. Foul ball. So Morrison will jump ahead with a 1-ball, 2-strike count as Lim squared to bunt on that one, just couldn't quite lay it down. One-two, ground ball. Morrison gonna get the easy out at first. Throw on to Bishop in time for out number 2.
Now batting, shortstop, Emily Young.
Emily Young coming back up to the plate. Two down, Emily Young up to the bat. Got a runner in scoring position out there on second base. First pitch gonna be in there for a strike, and Morrison gets ahead 0-1.
As we said, Kyle, pitching has been a big thing for the Lopes so far to start this season, and the pitchers that have started the game have done a great job for the Lopes.
0-1 ripped into center field. Cavarubia throw to the plate, gonna bounce off the bat behind, and Morrison there to cover, and Stanford goes up 1-0 on the RBI. Hit that one right back up the middle, right where it came from, and Cavarubio looking to throw it in. It took a short hop off of, or inside the circle rather, and then as it skipped, it hit the bat behind home plate and bounced up, and Morrison had to cover it right there. So runner still in scoring position, 2 down. First pitch In there, strike number 1. Inoue settles in, 0-1, swing and a foul ball. Off to the third base dugout, which holds the Lopes right now. 0-2, 2 down, runner on second base for Inoue, looking to extend their already 1-0 lead here in the top of the third inning. That one ripped into left field. They're going to hold the runner at third. So runners on the corners, 2 down. As Torville will run it back into Yessie Morrison in the circle.
Now batting first baseman, Emily Schultz.
Already the 5th hit of the ball game for Stanford. Emily Schultz settles in. That one in there for a strike. Morrison again ahead 0-1. So we do have a correction, just the 1 out here with runners on the corners for Stanford. They've already driven in 1. That one's going to be popped up. Olsen is there, makes the easy grab, and that will be out. Number 2 for Stanford.
Now batting, pitcher, Tatum Boyd.
So Tatum Boyd comes back in. She had a walk in her first at-bat and then was stranded out there on second base. So she'll come up with 2 outs, runners on the corners for Stanford. Looking to add on to that 1-0 lead. Yessie Morrison looking to shut down the Cardinal right here and just keep that lead at 1. Morrison delivers. Boyd rips it right at Olsen. She makes a good play. Throw on to Bishop. She hangs on and makes the grab. Make sure that back foot stays on the base. And that will retire the side. So 1 run for Stanford on a couple of hits. And 2 left on base. So the Lopes will come to bat down by 1 here in the bottom half of the third inning.
And Grand Canyon University Arena is proud to host Elevate 2020 Music Festival back in Phoenix, Arizona for its 8th straight year. Join us this June for a great weekend of worship. Tickets are on sale now at gcuarena.com.
We'll take one more look at that last play from Taylor Olsen. Did a good job to scoop that one up and make a good throw over to Lily Bishop to get the Lopes out of that inning. They did give up 1 run, however, in that top half of the third, as it will be Lorianne Olsen, Dietrich, and Kava Rubio to lead off the third inning for GCU. They're still hitless.
That was a great grab by Bishop at first to get that final out of the inning. Nice of her to stay on the bag to help record that final out for the Lopes.
Leading off the bottom of the third for the Lopes. Second baseman, number 21, Lorianne Olsen.
So Tatum Boyd having a good, strong first 2 innings of work. No hits, no walks, nobody left on base, no strikeouts. She'll settle in for inning number 3, first pitch outside corner, called strike number 1 to Lorianne Olsen, who is at second base for GCU here in this one, as she was back in game 1 today and the game against Stanford yesterday. 0-1, Olsen fouls that one off down the right field line, and Stanford will give chase to throw this one back into play. Stanford finished 5th in the Pac-12. They beat a couple of ranked opponents last season, including UCLA, when they were ranked number 2, they lost the series 2-1, but that one win was a 2-1 victory over the defending national champs. That one grounded to third. Inoue throws on to Schultz at first to retire Olsen.
Now batting, catcher, number 5.
Let's
Kaitlyn
look at that
Lamb.
again. A great hit. Would have been nicely fielded also.
Stanford's 33 wins were good enough to get him to the Gainesville Regional. First pitch to Dietrich inside, ball 1. And in that Gainesville Regional, they went 1-2. They beat Boston University 13-2. And their one win in the tournament got in that large bid. Their first tournament berth since 2013. That one up high, ball number 2. So Stanford looking to get back to the tournament this year. The Lopes looking to make the tournament for the first time in their history. They've won the WAC regular season a couple of times. Made the semifinal game last year before a heartbreaker to New Mexico State. That one grounded again to Inoue onto Schultz. For out number 2.
Now batting,
Mickey
center fielder,
Cavarubio had a
Mickey
couple of hits in
Cavarubio.
game 1, including 2 for 2 in her first 2 at-bats, looking to get the Lopes rolling here in this one against Stanford. Down 1-0 at the moment. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Gonna look at the pitch right there, called strike 1 outside top corner. As Cavarubio settles back in, 0-1 count on the way from Tatum Boyd. That one fouled off into the netting just over the head of Cantillo, who is standing in the on-deck circle. Oh, 0-2 to Mickey Cavarubio here, the freshman. 0-2, fouled off again into the screen on this third base side. So Tatum Boyd in her first collegiate start, looking very good through 2 2/3 innings of work so far. That one will be ripped up into the hole at short. High throw, but Schultz is able to corral it to retire the side. So the Lopes retired in order for the third straight inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on base. Stanford coming to bat when we come back right here on GCU TV.
Nachos or popcorn.
Why choose Sanderson Ford?
Straight up offers like these.
Now through President's Day, escape to a D-backs game and a new Escape for only $18,900. Lease one for only $259 a month. Save $10,000 on all 2019 F-150 Super Cruise. Get 2 Arizona Diamondback tickets just for coming in.
Plus, they support local sports.
And donate generously to local charities.
If it's important to you to do business with someone who supports our community,
Choose Sanderson Ford.
Straight up.
When it came time to look for master's degrees, when I first learned about Grand Canyon, I think as teachers and coaches, you're never done learning. Being a mentor is one of the most important things in my life. For me, it's not always about winning, it's about instilling things in my students and my athletes that'll carry them on. And I'm confident to say that I wouldn't be the same teacher or coach that I am today without that experience at GCU. I'm Joseph, and I graduated with a master's degree online from GCU.
There's a thunder in all of us. Come find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
Back here for the top of the fourth inning, Stanford leads the Lopes 1-0 as the catcher Montana Dixon settles in here to lead off the top of the fourth against Yessie Morrison. Morrison so far 3 innings of work, 5 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. First pitch to Dixon, just gonna miss the outside part of the plate. Dixon will fly that one out over the head of Cantillo, out and right, and it's going to be extra bases. Dixon sliding into second. And she is pumped up about that one. So a leadoff double for Dixon to start the fourth inning, in Stanford starting to roll. So it looks like a pinch runner will be coming on for Montana Dixon.
Coming in to run for the Cardinal, number 3, Alyssa Horeshko.
Number 3, Alyssa Horeshko coming into the game to pinch run for Stanford at second base after the Dixon double. That pitch going to be outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. As Sydney Huff settles back in. 1-0 count to Huff. Pitch from Morrison outside. Ball number 2. So a 2-0 count here from Yessie Morrison. Here's the pitch inside corner, called strike number 1. And the count will go 2 balls and a strike to Huff. That one just past the outstretched glove of Taylor Olson at third. And the count will go 2-2 as that one was foul. As you see how close that one was on the replay, Taylor Olson just missing that one. And Sydney Huff 0 for 1. She popped up to Olson in her last at-bat. That's going to be a grounder right back at Morrison. Morrison on the first for out, number 1. And the runner Horeshko will advance to third base. As this will bring up
Now batting center fielder, Taylor Jindelsberger.
Taylor Jindelsberger coming to bat now for her second appearance. She's 0 for 1. She grounded out to Olson back in the second inning. First pitch inside, called strike number 1 on the corner. So Morrison getting ahead in this count early on here at the top of the fourth. Runner on third, 1 down for the Lopes. Lopes down by 1. And the 0-1 pitch from Morrison. That one will go to Torville, who will allow the run to score and will throw on to Bishop at first, who makes a good stretch to get out number 2, but Stanford will go up 2-0 on the RBI from Jindelsberger. That'll bring up the senior right-hander, Tegan Cowles, excuse me. Tegan Cowles 1 for 2 today with a single. She came around to score as well back in the third inning for the first run of the ball game. So the third time through the lineup now for Morrison. That one will be a single. Cantillo is there, keeps it in front, but a double for Cowles. So now a single and a double for Tegan Cowles with 2 outs. Here on the top of the fourth inning, 2-0 is the score. Stanford has the lead.
Left fielder, Kaitlyn Lamb.
Lamb coming back to bat. She's 1 for 2 as well. So Stanford keeping that runner in scoring position. Lamb singled in the first inning, then grounded back out to Morrison in the third, and that one will be popped up well foul and out of play off the top of the dugout over there on the first base side.
Foul ball is back to the third base dugout. Thank you for your help.
It's the 0-1 now. Getting ready to come into Kaitlyn Lamb. Cowell's on second base. 0-1. Outside, ball number 1. Cowell's almost caught in no man's land out there. Getting a big jump off of second base, and Dietrich froze her there in the middle and had to look her back. You gotta be careful that you don't get picked off out of there at second base if you're Cowell's. 1-1 on the way. That one swung on and missed. And again, this time Dietrich pops up looking like she's ready to throw it in a 1-2 count. On the way. One, two from Morrison. That one will be grounded to Torville. No play. Play at the plate in time. Out at the plate is Cowell's trying to make something happen for the Cardinal. And Savannah Torville makes a good throw, good strong hard throw. And that will retire the side. So 1 run on 3 hits for Stanford advances the lead to 2-0. The Lopes coming to bat now in the bottom of the 4th with the top of the order due up.
The Lope Shop is proud to carry products from GCBC, the Grand Canyon Beverage Company. Enjoy this tasty line of coffee, tea, and energy drinks from GCU in the comfort of your own home. Now available at lopeshops.gcu.edu/GCBC. And you know, Kyle, you can use code GCUTV25 to get 25% off that order of GCBC products.
Yes, you can. Might need some coffee up here in the booth. Almost 9:20 local time.
And this is why coffee is a food group.
That is why coffee is a food group. I see you still got your coffee from earlier. Just trying to stay up, right? You know, just
got to stay up with this Lopes team tonight.
We're going to go well into the night. Brooke Cantillo, so the second time through the Lopes lineup now. They've been retired in order, 1, 2, 3, and all 3 of the first 3 innings of play. So bottom 4, Brooke Cantillo coming to the plate. So again, no walks, no hits, no runs for the Lopes. And no strikeouts as well. First pitch. That one into the hole at short. This one might be close as Schultz able to pick it out. And Cantillo is retired. That was a good play from Emily Young out there at short, making a good strong throw and a good stretch from Emily Schultz. Emily Schultz, 6-foot sophomore first base. Covers a lot of ground out there. First pitch to Reed. Going to be low and inside for the first ball of the at-bat, 1-0. Now just around 30 pitches for Tatum Boyd. That's what you like to see, a low pitch count through the first 3 innings of work. That one going to be off the glove of Inoue, and the first Lopes base runner is aboard. That one took a weird hop back into play. It did look like it might have hit the foot of Jaden Reed. So we're going to check all the way around, see if anybody saw anything. And it looks like it's going to stand, so Jaden Reed's going to get on base. It's going to be an error by Inoue. So Savannah Torville can tie this one up with 1 swing. Torville saying that one hit her. And it's going to be a ball. So 1 out. 1-0 count to Savannah Torville, who has a runner on first base. inside, not going to get it. 2-0. Two-0 count. Boyd delivers. Torville gonna look at that one for the strike. That one looked maybe a little low. Torville shaking that one off. 2-1. Boyd gonna get a quick look at the wrist. Looking for the pitch. Torville will ground softly to the pitcher. Boyd throw over the head of Schultz, and that doesn't happen very often as Savannah Torville is going to reach first base. So the Lopes still have a base runner with 2 outs as Lily Bishop comes up. Take another look at this one.
It was a great throw down to second to get the out with the leadoff runner, but that overthrow to first, allowing Torville to be safe at first and the Lopes to still have a runner.
First pitch to Bishop, gonna be fouled off. Might have caught a piece of Dixon behind the plate as she comes up. In a little bit of pain, gonna walk it off. As you see the umpire gonna call time, wipe off the plate. Give Dixon a little bit of time to get back into it. So Torville reaches on the fielder's choice. Here's the pitch from Boyd. Down the middle, but a little bit low for the first ball to Bishop. So the Lopes bats came to life early in game number 1 earlier today against Weber State, but unable to get something going here in a rip by Torville, but it'll go well foul, and it'll go to 1-2 is the pitch count. As it is a 2-out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-0 Stanford. Savannah Torville standing over there on first base for the Lopes. Bishop will hit 1-2 past the second baseman into the outfield. Torville looking for third. She'll be in there standing up, and a single for Lily Bishop with 2 outs.
Now batting the designated player, Kaitlyn Lamb. Coming in to run for the Lopes, number 14,
Rachel Hammond's coming in at first base to run for Lily Bishop. They're going to rule that one an error on the second baseman. As we'll have a little circle chat here with Tatum Boyd with runners on the corners and 2 outs. So it looks like we are ready to go again with Boyd getting ready to settle in and face Kaylee Holland. 0 for 1 so far on the evening. So now a pair of errors puts Lopes on the corners in there for strike on the first pitch to Kaylee Holland. Both pitchers doing a good job finding the outside and inside corners and really staying away from the middle heart of the plate. 0-1, Holland off speed in there for a strike. Boyd looking for her first strikeout of the game. Lopes still hitless despite having runners on base. Couple errors here for Stanford. 2-0 lead for Stanford here with 2 outs. 0-2 count to Kaylee Holland. Tatum Boyd gets that. She delivers. in the dirt, ball number 1. So Rachel Hammonds over there on first base. Savannah Torville out here on third base looking to score. So the Lopes have a runner in scoring position for the first time here in the first 4 innings of work. Lopes looking to jump on the freshman Boyd. That one will be popped up and caught by Sydney Huff to retire the side. So the Lopes threaten here in inning number 4, but unable to get anything going as they will strand a couple. Stanford 2, Grand Canyon 0, as the top of the 5th inning is right around the corner right here on GCU TV.
So one key component that makes the Waste Management Phoenix Open so successful is Cox Business. Over 700,000 people are going to come enjoy TPC Scottsdale, from digital TV to digital phones to security, and most importantly, that free Wi-Fi all over this property. We simply couldn't do it without a partner like Cox Business. We're grateful, we're thankful, it's a hole-in-one.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Back inside the GCU softball stadium. Here for the top of the 5th inning, Stanford leads the Lopes 2-0 as the Lopes had a couple of base runners there in the bottom of the 4th, but unable to bring them around. So Stanford will get set again. Morrison still out there for the Lopes. Young settles in. First pitch, Young, driven right at Olsen. She will fire over to Bishop in time for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Yessie Morrison. That is good, efficient pitching right there.
Okay, we can't get really any better than 1 pitch and 1 out to start this inning.
That one gonna be ripped, but well foul. As Inoue comes to bat, singled back in the 3rd inning. 1 for 2. She is the lone strikeout victim of Yessie Morrison so far. Yessie looking to add on to that total. Morrison gets set and delivers. That one ripped right back up the middle into center field. And Cava Rubio will throw it back into the infield. So a single for Inoue. She'll go to 2 and 3 today with a pair of singles. And the first hit of the inning for Stanford will give them 8 on the ballgame. It looks like we're going to get some action down there in the Lopes bullpen. First pitch to Schultz, outside, ball 1. Morrison looks in, takes a long look, gets her sign. Gets set and delivers, swing and a miss. Strike number 1 for Emily Schultz. So an even 1-1 count with 1 out and 1 on at first base for Stanford. Looking to add on to their 2-0 lead here in the 5th inning. Picked up a run in the 3rd and the 4th inning. That one outside, ball 2. Stanford crowd has been at the stadium for a while today after that 2.5 hour-ish game between the Lopes and Weber State after Stanford's first game. That one grounded. Gonna flip to second. They're only gonna get 1, but the out at second base is a big one for out number 2. So that will leave one runner on at first base. It will be Schultz as Inoue picked off by Lorianne Olson at second. And now the pitcher Tatum Boyd, who is 0 for 1 with a walk, will step up to the plate for her third AB of the night. Pitcher on pitcher battle again. That one going to be in the dirt. Ball number 1 to Tatum Boyd. One-0 pitch from Morrison. Outside corner, just gonna miss that one. So a 2-0 count for Yessie Morrison to the pitcher for Stanford, Tatum Boyd, who has Schultz on first base with 2 away here in the top half of the 5th inning. Morrison sets, delivers. That one, Boyd grounded to short. Torville over to first to retire the side. So 1 hit, no runs, no errors, no walks. 1 left on board, and the Lopes get out of that one. Still 2-0 Stanford as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Ethington Theater presents a modern take on the Shakespeare classic, The Tempest, filled with the explosive drama and vengeance. This sinister play centers around a magical storm which leaves passengers shipwrecked on a tropical island. Get your tickets now at the Ethington Theater box office. And as we mentioned earlier, Kyle, that's going on this weekend and next weekend. That first show's probably almost over.
Probably just about over.
Probably just about over, but you still have plenty of
Runs
chances.
all weekend, all next weekend. Free student tickets with a GCU ID. 65th anniversary there at Ethington Theater this year.
You really have no reason not to go.
I mean, you really don't. I mean, unless you're working like us.
That is true.
So Stanford about ready to go yet again. Boyd still out there for the Cardinal. Taylor Olson will get set to lead off the inning for GCU, looking to get her second at-bat. Looking to get some going for GCU here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lopes threatened just an inning ago, left Savannah Torville on third. First pitch to Taylor Olson, off speed, going to be in there for a strike. Oh, 1 on the way. Olson grounds out to Inoue on to Schultz. At first, out number 1. Inoue has been very busy over there at third base. She's got 4 putouts through almost 5 innings now. So now Lorianne Olson, 0 for 1 on the day. She grounded out to guess who? Inoue. Back in the 3rd.
I never would have guessed that one there, Kyle.
I told you. Fountain of knowledge up here.
Thank goodness.
No, it's not because I'm looking at the scorecard. I knew that one off the top of my head.
Of course you did, Kyle.
I definitely did. So, after the first pitch strike to Olson, that one will be popped up foul. And out of play near the Lopes bullpen, 0-2. So, Stanford looking to keep things rolling as they won last night's matchup between these two teams in 8 innings, 3-0. Up 2-0 here as Olson pokes that one foul yet again. Count will remain no balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, Lopes running out of time to even things up as Olson will look to get something going for GCU, looking to get another base runner on. That one's going to be swung to center field, but an easy grab out there for Jindelsberger. And that will be out number 2. First pitch to Dietrich, outside for a ball, so 1-0 as Kaylee Dietrich grounded out in her first at-bat to Inoue as well. Dietrich gonna get a base hit for the Lopes, their first hit on the evening, and Dietrich is aboard.
Center fielder Mickey Cavarubio.
And now Mickey Cavarubio will come to the plate for her second at-bat. Beautiful swing and a good hit from Kaylee Dietrich, who's doing the catching tonight. Getting a lot of work behind home plate. Caught the first game as well. First pitch to Cavarubio, off speed and upstairs for ball number 1.
As you mentioned, Kyle, Cavarubio has had a great first night of her collegiate career. Her first pitch was a great hit that she had in the first game against Weber State earlier.
Went 2 for 4 earlier tonight against Weber State. And now time called, as that one was also inside and upstairs for ball number 2. And now it looks like one of the pitching coaches is going to come out here, have a little word with her freshman pitcher and Montana Dixon, the senior catcher. Just making sure everybody's on the same page. As it looks like we are about ready to go. So 2-0 with 2 outs. And Dietrich standing on first for Mickey Cavarubio. Looking to add on to something here for the Lopes. That one driven right back up the middle, past the outstretched glove of Huff at second base, and the Lopes back-to-back base hits with 2 outs. And now they got 2 on for the top of the order, and Brooke Cantillo. You know what they say, Cheyenne, hitting is contagious.
It's very true, Kyle, and let's hope that that contagiousness sticks on to the next batter.
Coming in to run for the Lopes, number 20.
Brooke Cantillo getting ready to come up for her third at-bat of the ball game. She's 0 for 2 today, but she's got Cavarubio and Dietrich on first and second, respectively. Dietrich in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lopes down by a pair. First pitch. That one will be popped up into left, and the catch will be made by Lim, and that will retire the side. So the Lopes with a pair of back-to-back base hits, but they will strand Cavarubio and Dietrich. And as we go to the top of the 6th inning, Stanford leads it 2-0 here at the GCU Softball Stadium for the GCU Kickoff Tournament right here on GCU TV.
Canyon State Credit Union, a local credit union serving the Valley for over 65 years, can assist you in buying your first home, refinancing your current home, or if you're dreaming of a retirement home. Canyon State Credit Union can provide you with a fast and affordable solution that meets your needs. Let Canyon State Credit Union run the numbers on your dream. Visit canyonstatecu.org or call 623-580-6015 for more information. Canyon State Credit Union, committed to you. We do business in accordance with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, MLS number 410376.
When my hot water heater failed, she was pregnant, in-laws were coming, a little bit of water, it rocked our world.
I had no idea the amount of damage that water could do.
We called USAA, and they greeted me as they always do. Sergeant Baker, how are you? They were on.
The GCU Softball Stadium, it's 2-0 Stanford with the top of the 6th inning, and Montana Dixon, the catcher, will lead us off here for Stanford. Yessie Morrison now back out for her 6th inning of work. That one will be caught by Savannah Torville over the shoulder. The shortstop making a good play, ranging over for out number 1, and now back-to-back innings, 1 pitch, 1 out for the first batter.
It's a great way to start these back-to-back innings, and let's take another look at this amazing catch by Torville. As you mentioned, just over the back as she's running back towards the wall to get that catch.
Sydney Huff stands in. She looks to square to bunt, goes around right down the middle. Strike number 1 to Sydney Huff. Morrison looks in, gets the sign from Dietrich. She delivers. That one will be popped up. Torville coming on again, makes the grab. Savannah Torville right there for out number 2.
Center fielder Taylor Gindelsberger.
Taylor Gindesberger will come to the plate for at-bat number 3. She's 0 for 2. First pitch. Squares to bunt, foul ball. Will go for a strike. So Morrison looking to close out this inning in quick fashion. 0-1 count here to the 9 batter for Stanford. And if the Lopes can get out of this one, Stanford will roll the top of the order into the top half of the 7th inning. Lopes in the bottom of the 6 are due with 2, 3, and 4. That's Reed, Torville, and Bishop. 0-1 outside. For a ball, and the count goes even, 1-1. So the Lopes looking to jump on Stanford late here in this ball game. One ripped. That's going to be a base hit into right field. So a 2-out base hit for Stanford will be their 9th hit of the ball game, and Cowles will turn the order over, and they will go back to the top with a runner on first. First pitch on the way to Cowles, inside. Gonna miss, ball number 1. So the 1-0 to Cowles. Morrison looks in. That one will be driven into left, and another base hit. So back-to-back singles for Stanford will put a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And Lamb coming back up to bat. She's 2 for 3 as well on the ball game. So Cowles picks up single number 2. That puts her at 3 for 4 today. And Stanford has double-digit hits. They've left 7 on board and have a pair of errors as well. Morrison, that one, Lamb pops it up. Getting under it is Cantillo. She will make the grab, and the Lopes get out of that jam unharmed. So just a pair of hits, no walks, no strikeouts. 2 left on board, no runs scored. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Lopes got 2, 3, and 4 coming up, down by 2.
And if you're visiting campus this spring, why not stay at the GCU Hotel, featuring comfortable rooms, a resort-style pool, and the Canyon 49 Grill. It's the perfect place to stay when coming to GCU. Book your room today at gcuhotel.com. As we mentioned, Kyle, there is also a GCBC at the hotel.
That there is. GCU Hotel, very nice. Canyon 49 Grill, amazing.
Very good.
Have you been?
I have. Have you?
Multiple times. multiple times.
It's very good. It's a
Very
great
good.
place to take people.
It is when you have a lot of people or family in town
Family
because
in
they're
town.
staying at the GCU hotel.
It just makes sense.
And it's only $79 a night. It starts at $79 a night, according to the graphic. So if you miss the graphic, GCU Hotel, $79 a night. Trying to lower the price apparently now. So the Lopes will come back to bat. They got a pair of hits in the last inning. Jaden Reed will lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Lopes down to their final 6 outs. Stanford up 2-0 as Yessie Morrison has had a good 6th inning of work, giving up a lot of hits, but only just the 2 runs. So not a bad day from Yessie Morrison as Jaden Reed, who is 0 for 2, gets ready to settle in. First pitch, Reed right back to Boyd. And an easy play on the first pitch. And Reed is retired for the first out.
Shortstop.
So now Boyd wanted to get involved on that whole 1 pitch, 1 out thing that Yessie Morrison has going.
I mean, I get it. It's a very great way to start off an inning, but
She's only thrown 54 pitches.
that's very impressive. She's having a great outing right now.
Off-speed Torville hits the outside corner. 4 strike. Torville 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th, but they left her at 3rd base. As the 0-1 from Boyd will be a fastball. Torville reps it foul. And it'll go to 0-2. Savannah Torville had a couple of hits back in game number 1 today. She was 0 for 1 last night against Stanford with a pair of walks. She also walked earlier today, so she's got 3 walks total on the season. 0-2, Torville. Opposite side this time, foul. Count remains, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Kyle, all but 2 of this Lopes roster looking for their first hit of the night tonight against Stanford.
So, Boyd gets ready to settle in. She'll get one last look at the pitch call. She'll twist, turn, and fire into the dirt. Off speed, just missing the knees of Savannah Torville. So the first ball of the at-bat. Boyd has not thrown very many of those. In fact, to my count, that one will be in there for a strike, 2 outs.
First baseman, Lily Bishop.
To my count, it looks just to be about 8 balls that Boyd has thrown of her 58 pitches. So 50 strikes for Boyd. Bishop takes that one on the inside, part of the plate for ball number 1, make that 9 total. Now, Bishop reached on an error back in the 4th, and then she was pinch ran for, and then the pinch runner Rachel Hammonds was stranded as well, swung on and missed for a strike. One pitch on the way from Boyd. Going to be called foul. So that will go to a 1-2 count with 2 outs to Lily Bishop. I'm apparently thinking football. That is over. Well, not really, but the XFL starts on Saturday. But that's beside the point. We're playing softball. Taking a look at that one off the, looked like the foot possibly of Lily Bishop. Umpire quickly calls that one foul. 1-2, Bishop ground ball right at Boyd. She will flip over to Schultz, and that will retire the side. So a couple of ground outs to Boyd, the pitcher, and a strikeout will retire the Lopes. 1, 2, 3 in order. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on base. Stanford leads 2-0 as we go to the top half of the 7th inning when we come back right here on GCU TV.
one more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Lopes.
Across the painted desert to where the mountains touch the sky. This is Sanderson Ford country, where Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford country, built on serving you. Sanderson Ford, satisfaction in everything we do. We're Arizona's pride. Sanderson Ford.
And we are back for the 7th inning of play here in the final game of the Friday night matchups here at the Grand Canyon University 2020 kickoff tournament, as the Stanford Cardinal lead Grand Canyon University Lopes 2-0. First pitch from Yessie Morrison to start the 7th inning. He has a strike to Emily Young, playing shortstop. She is a 1-for-3 with a single and an RBI. 0-1 for Morrison. Just going to miss the outside part of the plate. 1-1 goes the count to Young. Morrison making her season debut, going to look to complete the complete game 7 inning. As the 1-1 gets set to deliver, that one will be popped up into right field. Cantillo is there for the first out of the inning. And the Lopes 2 outs away now from getting back to the plate. As Inoue and Schultz still due up here for Stanford, the Lopes will combat in the bottom of the 7th inning with the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Kaylee Holland, Taylor Olson, and Lorianne Olson. All 3 of them are 0-for-2. As Inoue just has back-to-back singles, and she's 2-for-3 on the night. Inoue grounded into left field for the 3rd base hit of the night for her. She's got 3 singles. And Inoue will get her 3rd hit. She's 3-for-4. And she will be on first base with 1 out. And it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter.
For the Cardinal, number 32, Sydney Steele.
Sydney Steele, number 32, the freshman from California, will step into the batter's box. Sydney Steele getting her first collegiate at-bat. She was a pinch runner earlier today, so not her first appearance in a softball game, but her first at-bat, so we'll see how she does with 1 out and a runner on first base against Yessie Morrison. As it looks like we are all settled with the substitutions. As Inoue on first base. Or Hannah Howell, number 11, is going to pinch run for Inoue at first base. First pitch, going to be a ball outside to Steele. So with 1 out, 1 on, 2-0 lead for Stanford here in the top half of the 7th inning. It's 1-0 is the count. That pitch in there for a strike. Yessie Morrison delivering a good second pitch right there. So 1-1 to Steele. Howell, pinch running for Inoue at first. So possibly in there to get a steal or just a little bit more speed on the base paths. 1-1, outside, ball 2. Two-one count now. Yessie Morrison gets set. She'll deliver. Inside count goes. 3 balls and 1 strike with 1 out. So the Lopes can get out of this inning with a double play right here. Be a really big momentum shifting double play. Lopes really unable to get anything going as they left 4 on base. Stanford's left 9, 11 hits for Stanford off of Yessie Morrison. 3-1. In there for a strike, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away. Howell on first base for Stanford. Yessie Morrison looking to keep this game at 2-0 for the Lopes, going to the home half of the 7th inning. Payoff pitch. Outside off of second base, and that's going to get into the outfield, and a walk from Yessie Morrison. So looks like the coach is going to come out and check on Hannah Howell out there at second base. Take another look at this one. Got a good jump. Yeah, it looks like she got Torville's knee to the head. So not the first time these two teams have had a collision at a base.
No, that's right, Kyle. Last night there was a collision at home plate.
Kaylee Holland took the brunt of that one. And it looks like Hannah Howell sliding head first into second base, hoping she's okay out there. So we'll take a little bit of a pause in the action now. So that'll leave 2 runners on base for Stanford. They still have that 2-0 lead. Top 7, 1 out. Stanford 2 errors, 9 people left on base, 11 hits, and have 3 walks as well. Lopes, no runs, 4 left on base, no errors, and a pair of hits for them. And they've only struck out once, and that was Savannah Torville in the last inning.
Yeah, Kyle, you mentioned Kaylee Holland, and after that collision at home base last night, we're glad to see her back in the lineup for the Lopes.
Absolutely. She's being the designated player tonight as Dietrich doing the catching duties. And it does look like Hannah Howell's going to be okay out there at second base. Good to see as Boyd settles in for another at-bat. She's 0 for 2 with a walk. Still got the double play in effect. Boyd fouls that one off 0-1. So the Lopes can still get the big inning-ending double play right here. Get out of this jam. They've been able to do it so far with Yessie Morrison. She'll deliver the 0-1. That's going to one-hop in the dirt. Dietrich tries to make a throw down to third, not in time, and a double steal. And the count will go 1 ball, 1 strike. So the double play ball now out of effect. Good base running from Stanford right there with 1 out. Take another look at this one, as Dietrich just couldn't quite corral it in time. That one will be ripped right into the glove of Olsen. Play at the plate again, out at the plate. Great play from Taylor Olsen to cut down the run for out number 2. And the lead remains just 2-0 for Stanford. Now runners on the corners, 2 down. As Montana Dixon, the catcher, will come to the plate. Take another look at this one. Great snag at the hot corner for Taylor Olsen, and a beautiful tag laid there by Kaylee Dietrich. Not the first time she's had to do that tonight. Had a good one against Weber State early on. Had one at the plate earlier in this one as well. Looks like possible more substitutions coming for Stanford as Dixon gets ready to settle in. Looks like a pinch runner coming on for Boyd. Dixon with a double and a walk. She's 1 for 2 today. Montana Dixon settles in, and so does Yessie Morrison. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Morrison gets Montana Dixon to swing at that one in there on the inside part of the plate for a strike and its own 1. Madison out there pinch running for Boyd at first base. 0-1 pitch from Morrison on the way outside for a ball. Everybody's going to have to stay. Good job from Kaylee Dietrich to keep everything in front right now. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. 2 away here in the top half of the 7th inning. One. Dixon fouls that one straight off. And straight down into Kaylee Dietrich, and that one will go to a 1-2 count now. Stanford just the 2 runs on 11 hits so far. Lopes doing a good job keeping Stanford on base for the most part. When they get on base, not letting them advance too far. 1-2. That one ripped off the glove of Olsen at third. Torville not going to have a play. And Dixon is aboard, and the lead grows 3-0. You can see unable to quite squeeze that one in the glove was Taylor Olsen at third base. So now 2 on with 2 outs.
Number 22, Kate Cressy.
22, Kate Cressy coming in to pinch hit for Stanford. She'll be pinch hitting for Sydney Huff. So Steele just came around to score on that last hit by Dixon, as Dixon stands at first, Madison at second. In there for a strike from Yessie Morrison, 0-1. Morrison gets ready. She's now over the 100 pitch count. That one in the dirt, throw down to second, not gonna be in time. Good job to keep it in front was Lori-Ann Olsen. Kaylee Dietrich trying to make a play down there behind the plate. 1-1 is the count, 2 outs, 2-1, a 3-0 Stanford lead. GCU still looking to get something rolling with the bat, so the first error of the game gonna be charged to Olsen on that last AB. That's a big swing and a miss, and Morrison goes ahead 1-2. One-two pitch getting ready to come on the way from Yessie Morrison. She looks in, gets sets, winds, and delivers outside, ball 2. Dietrich thought about throwing down to second base again. Does not do so. And we have a 2-2 count with 2 outs and 2 aboard. Two-two pitch. Inside, count will go full.
The Lopes are really just looking to get out of this inning without any more damage being done. Stanford adding that 1 run so far in this inning. Lopes really just trying to get out with any more damage happening as they go into the bottom of the 7th.
Payoff pitch from Morrison will be ripped right into the glove of Savannah Torville, and the Lopes do get out of the inning. So 1 run on 1 hit and an error. Stanford's going to leave 2 on base, and it's a 3-0 Stanford Cardinal lead as the Lopes down to their final 3 outs here on the Friday night last game of the GCU 2020 kickoff tournament.
And Kyle, you can turn into the GCU kickoff tournament all weekend here on GCU TV. We have plenty of softball action coming tomorrow, starting at 10:30 with Stanford and New Mexico, and then at 1 with Stanford and Weber State, and then 3:30 is GCU and New Mexico, and then ending that night is GCU and Weber State. So another full day of softball coming up tomorrow.
And Sunday, got a couple of games on Sunday starting at 10 a.m. It'll be Weber State and Stanford, followed by your Grand Canyon University Lopes and the University of New Mexico Lobos. So the Lopes down to the final 3 outs of this one. Boyd looking to complete the 7 innings as well, looking for her first collegiate complete game and her first collegiate win. the freshman. So the Lopes will send Holland, Olsen, and Olsen to the plate here in the 7th inning. And we'll see if the Lopes can get something going. They got a pair of hits over the last couple of innings. Back in the 5th was the last time they got back-to-back hits from Dietrich and Cavarubio. So we'll see if Holland can get something going here for GCU. Bottom 7, last chance for the Lopes. 3-0 is the score, and we are about ready to go here. First pitch, Holland swings, grounded weakly to third, and a throw on to first is well in time, and Inoue will get the put out.
Pinch hitting for the Lopes, number 18, Olivia Zufeld.
So one of the Lopes freshmen, number 18, Olivia Zufeld's going to come in to pinch hit here for Taylor Olsen. So Zufeld's first collegiate at bat here. In there for strike number 1. Zufeld, the freshman from Hayden, Idaho. The catcher/utility player for this Lopes team. Swing and a miss. Strike number 2. Boyd blows it by her. And now quickly an 0-2 count with 1 out here for GCU in the bottom of the 7th inning. Down by a few here, 3-0. Stanford a run in the 3rd, run in the 4th, and a run in the top half of this inning. 0-2 pitch. Up high, ball number 1. Zufeld looking like she saw that one all the way right there. Really settling into that right-hander's batter's box now. One, two. Zufeld swing and a pop-up into right center field on the run. She dropped the ball, unable to corral it. Is Gindelsperger, and Zufeld is aboard with extra bases, and she's in scoring position with 1 out. Take another look at this one. A little bit of a curveball there. Looking to make the catch on the run, unable to do so. And now Lorianne Olsen will come to the plate. So that will go down officially as the first career hit for Zufeld. Olsen, grounder, flipped on to Schultz for out number 2. So Zufeld 1 for 1 on her collegiate career with a double. Nicely done, and then a ground out by Olsen. So Kaylee Dietrich singled her last time up in the 5th. The Lopes in desperate need of a couple of runs. 2 outs now, down to their final few strikes, as Kaylee Dietrich gets settled in. First pitch, outside corner, strike number 1.
As we mentioned earlier, Kyle, that hitting can be contagious. So with 1 hit, we hope that Dietrich can also get that hit to give the Lopes some momentum here in the bottom of the 7th.
Dietrich will ground out to 3rd, and Inoue will end the game with another putout for Stanford. And Stanford is going to end their weekend against Grand Canyon with 2 wins, both coming by the score of 3-0. And the Lopes are going to fall to 0-3 on the season. And back in the first game against Weber State, the Lopes did a really good job getting on top early and then struggled a little bit after that. And then the Lopes just a pair of 3 hits rather here in this one, and unable to get anything going at the plate.
Thank you everyone for coming out this evening. We hope to see you back here tomorrow.
And we will get a look here in a moment at the final Canyon State stat update.
As always, we thank you for your continued
As soon as we have that, we'll get that up there for you. But the Lopes and Stanford will end both of their matchups together, but both teams back in action tomorrow. Again, Stanford will start the day with a doubleheader against New Mexico and Weber State, and then the Lopes will be back against New Mexico and Weber State as well. And there it is, 3 runs for Stanford, 11 hits, 2 errors, 11 left on base. As a team, they hit .344. Lopes shut out for the second time against the Cardinal here this weekend. They had 3 hits, 1 error. They left 4 on base and batted .115 as a team, but pretty good pitching performances from the Lopes overall, despite the final scores and the outcomes of these games, Cheyenne.
Yeah, all weekend so far, the Lopes have had some great pitching in the circle and just haven't gotten the results that they have wanted, but that pitching staff has done some great things so far for the Lopes here.
So the Lopes will fall to 0-3 on the season, but they will be back in action. Thank you for tuning in to the GCU Kickoff Tournament. We've got Lopes softball all weekend long with our next game tomorrow afternoon against the University of New Mexico. You can tune in at 3:30 p.m. right here on GCU TV. Follow Grand Canyon University on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. For everybody here at GCU TV, for Cheyenne Rose, I am Kyle Borg, saying have a great night, a great weekend. We'll see you back here tomorrow, and as always, go Lopes.